We all have our dream life. To an extent, we all have an idea of what the good life looks for us, of what would make us happy, satisfied, and fulfilled. But to a degree, our life circumstances and our priorities are stopping us from that. A simple example. You want to have 1 or 2 hours free on a daily basis to think about structuring a new business idea. But circumstances are, for example, not allowing you that because you constantly need to be around either colleagues, friends, or family, right? That's circumstance. Or it could be our priorities that are hurting us. For example, to take the leap in life, in business, in health, you need to give up some sort of security and stability with it. And if you really like stability and comfort, you cannot really do that because your priorities are not aligned. But to really push yourself on this uncomfortable path and take the leap in life, you need to understand that challenge and growth is what you're after. Living a shallow, comfortable life is not rewarding enough. While it feels good in the short term, it's not what we're really after. Today, I'll talk a little bit about how to take the leap in life and how to potentially start using your resources more efficiently to be able to do more.
Most people want safety. It feels familiar. It feels cozy. Most people want stability. It feels safe. It feels supportive. But these two can shrink life. Most of us also crave growth. We need to explore more, create more, connect deeper, and exert a greater impact.
How to live life fully and what kind of life is most rewarding. See, we all have a perception of what our good life should look like. And if you don't, just paint a picture. Think of what it is that you want. What will, in your perception, make you happy? Like, what time do you get up? What kind of relationships do you have? What are you working on? How much are you traveling? Family, how much you earn? Everything. Visualize it. You think that if you can live life like this, everything is just going to be unicorns and rainbows and flowers. But the reality is, if there are no stepping stones for growth, if there are no problems and bumps on the road, there is no growth. So pleasure will slowly diminish. Satisfaction will slowly degrade. You won't actually feel so excited about living this new life because at any point in time, everything being perfect, that's not possible. That's not how we experience life. Then if you ask this question, well, what kind of life should I lead then? The answer is very simple. You need a challenging one, a one where you're challenging yourself to grow, to unlock new levels of life. That could be in any area, whether it's learning a different language, it's stepping up in your business, it's taking care of your health better, or deepening your relationships. Hard, deep, challenging life is what we're all after, is what spikes our dopamine up, not the leisure, pleasureful, satisfactory, hidden in the corner type of life. I'm gonna give you a very simple example. A lot of men think they want the act of sex, but to get it, there are more steps to it. Let's just simplify and divide it into 3. You need to approach someone and tell them that you're interested in and accept the fact you may be rejected. Then you have to take them out on a date and connect with them, see if there's a spark, and then the act of sex may happen if there's mutual physical attraction. But a lot of people think they want the 3rd step but skip the first 2. The real reason why you want the 3rd step is not the quick pleasure you think you're after. It's actually going through the first 2 steps of approaching, attracting / dating and connecting. These are the things that make you the person that you want to be, not the 3rd step. In other words, the experience where we challenge and craft a stronger, more resilient or confident persona is what we're really after, not the quick pleasure. This is why a lot of times it's actually way more satisfying to connect, talk and socialize to friends than scroll on TikTok and binge watch Netflix episodes. However, our dopamines have been stimulated so fast and so high that we fail to recognize this. So my simple question would be, wouldn't life be way more exciting and worth living if you could just experience it fully and experiment a little bit? Like, wouldn't you want to see who you can be and what levels of life you can unlock? Life is all around us, even if at times we feel very stuck. Actually, we need to go out and grab it.
Imagine there is a big obstacle on your way. It's frightening to jump over because you're afraid of what you'll see on the other side or what will happen. Reality is, everything you want in life is on the other side of fear, a quote from Canfield. You become more through experience. Don't worry, if you don't like it, you can always get back in your own little cave.
I'm gonna paint you a very powerful paradox I found amongst people who are not from wealthier families. So, for many people, there is a stigma that they should work very hard and they should save up their money or their resources, be it energy or attention or time, for the later future life. And we think this is the good thing to do, that we shouldn't live life, experience life, and that we shouldn't really spend our resources to invest in ourselves and our businesses because it might cost us our potential future. But the whole paradoxical nature of that saying is that you're living life you really don't want to live because you think you're going to get to a future point where you can live a life that you really want to live. And the paradox there is, unless you're doing something extravagant, something drastic, most of the time that won't happen. Like, if we have a regular job and are doing everything that the majority are doing, we're gonna get their result. So a simple example for this is, if you believe that having a regular job and working 20 years and saving up to buy a flat is very meaningful, and you're not very happy in that sort of lifestyle and circumstances and everything that comes with it, then it might be a better use of your time and energy to reinvest the resources that you have left to build something that can bring forth exponential gains. I, for long, was mistaking this same thing. I never went on a vacation. I never traveled anywhere. I was just working and saving up my money and working more hours and sitting at my room. But then I realized the richness, the flavor of who I am comes from experience. So yeah, am I gonna wanna run that marathon? Am I gonna wanna deepen my relationships? And I'm probably gonna go to Budapest, and I'm probably gonna try this out and that, and I'm probably gonna call one of the most successful health and business entrepreneurs that I know and gonna get rejected. But that's what life and interest in life is all about. The biggest paradox I've found is we believe that the shallow, the comfortable lifestyle is in a way stable or safe. But what is safety? If we really devour the meaning of safety and stability, we're actually much more powerful and in control if we learn to live in a way that's more challenging again. And the second life, which looks like living life a little bit more because you're experiencing life, you're taking on bigger challenges, is actually not just what's more enjoyable to live, but what will bring forth more resources and craft you into the persona you really want to be.
Most of the really impactful entrepreneurs I know and know of really want to have it. Whether it's the lifestyle, the car, the recognition, the status, the money, the impact, the power, they really want to have it. They worked so hard that achievement was literally the only option. No second alternative, no other way to go. They took all that comes with that life. The work, the novelty, the hardness, the challenges, the failures, the relationships. They showed up every day, tried harder, and worked better. Not living the life they want was not an option. It was a must. They found a way that works, and in most cases, that was hidden in living big. Taking the challenges, hunting the big connection, reading 2 books a day. There's nothing wrong with you wanting a certain lifestyle. Matter of fact, that's essential. External motivation works wonders in the earlier developmental stages. Don't run away from it. Find a way to get it, to get used to it.
Focus on the most important things. Focus on the biggest levers that you can move towards getting that life. Do not sweat the small stuff. This is one of the biggest mistakes I saw myself and many people around me doing. We're over focusing on the unimportant little technical things while missing the big picture, while missing the point. I'm going to give you an example in health and fitness. How many grams of creatine do I exactly need to ingest? How many minutes before the workout for the most optimal benefit? Is this really a thing to focus on? Or is it asking, well, how do I gain muscle? It's literally trying to lift today a little bit more than you did yesterday, being consistent, eating good, and repeating it over the course of a longer period. So in a way, instead of focusing on fundamentals like increasing your training volume and staying consistent in the gym and upping your protein, we are asking the so little technical and important things because we think when we know it all, we are going to do it so good. And that's just wrong. In business, it's the same thing. If you're into money, which everyone is, looking at 5% discounts on low ticket purchases that's going to save you $3 twice a week is such a waste of time and money and potential. Then if you were just to ask, well, what's a higher paying job that's going to pay me twice more, and move the lever there? How do I create a product, market it, and create a business and make 10 times more than my salary? Like, these are the kind of questions and fundamentals we should be investing our energy, time, and attention on, not some discount apps and paybacks and loyalty cards at a low quality store. Like, it doesn't matter that much, just as it doesn't matter whether you had 3.5 or 5 grams of creatine. Just go to the gym and lift weights. I see a lot of wealthy people do this very good. Like, they can manage their resources and even from earlier, so younger age, discern what's more important and what's less, what moves the lever and what doesn't.
What 20% of your work brings forth 80% of the benefits? Can you dial down on that and make it your main work? This can multiply your results. Most focus on the little unimportant technical details, leaving the big important steps behind. If you want to be fit, lift 3 times a week and eat 80% clean. If you want more money, start your own business and learn investing. If you want to find love, go on dates, connect with people, be curious, and ask questions.
So the last piece of advice on how to really unlock your full potential. Start doing different things. Start experimenting more. For me, it's, I think, entertaining the question of death and understanding that time is actually finite is going to give you a way better perception of what is important and what it means to live fully. It's an exciting question to discover the answer to how far we can go, how much can we earn, how deep can our relationships be, how big our impact can be, how far can we travel, how many new things can we experience. There's really no limit to this. It's just sort of compactly put into a story that our brain tells to us. There's no limits to your capacity. We are the ones creating them because we see everything around us and we think that that's normal. That's how it should be. That's how life is, and that's what I will be like. But not necessarily. Environment makes you. So do anything you can to put yourself in an environment or to be in the shoes of the people who are what you want to be in the future. Do different things, take a leap, and see where life takes you. Really, most of this can be very rewarding in its essence because it's unlocking, it's challenging, it's growing. It's on you to determine the specifics, whether for you that means really starting that business or approaching that fancy girl, or changing your diet and starting to really show up in the gym or do a public speaking event, whatever is going to make you feel more alive and fulfilled. Let's get it.
Let's say you're 30 years old and you live it up to 90 years. That's about 3,120 weeks or 260 months. If you were to plan one little adventure for every 9 weeks of your life, so every 2 months, you are going to end up with 130 mini adventures. Schedule it. That is what it means to live life.